Show21future. Today with a very special guest, our expert Giovanni Crisona. And we're speaking today about something which is very important for me, lifelong learning. And of course, lifelong learning and nowadays work-based learning, work-oriented learning, work-focused learning, and many more is an important goal for a future. And please, Giovanni, speak and show us the lifelong learning theme to the future.
Thank you very much, Urs. As always, I'm very excited to discuss with you these arguments. I don't pretend to be expert in any field that we discuss. I would like to bring here the idea of the Skillman members that we discuss every day about how the lifelong learning concept influence the approach to the changing of the work environment. Because we discussed many times different forms of learning and methodologies that we can implement. We discuss examples, we have the learning factories. No, we have solutions. But behind these solutions, there is an approach to education and to vocational education and training in particular for our case. And this is, of course, some aspect of our values that influence the reflections. And in final terms is the lifelong learning concept that we have that influence our choices in what methodologies and solutions to adopt. And so I have learned something from Mr. Andrea Schleicher, and I would like to bring his words to our attention, Urs. As you know, we invited Mr. Schleicher at the CIF 2021, and he gave us a very interesting speech affirming that we were used to learn and then to go to work, but nowadays we are in a situation where the work is the learning environment. So we cannot prepare ourselves for the work. We need to update our skills every day for the working situation. So this is an important change, I think, because it's like a revolution. Before you were thinking, I go to school, I learn, I will become skilled in this field, and then I will go to work. But this is not anymore possible. And the challenges change every day. Day by day, we have new challenges, and if you don't update your skills on time, you are cut out from the work.
Yeah, it is this new concept of learning in life and learning in work and learning in projects and learning permanently is really an interesting goal for the future. So I really like that we are now opening a new future possibility of learning permanently.
Yeah, that's the focus we discuss, and this is also, these are the elements that bring us to take decisions on what are the solutions that we need for the future of learning or for the future of work. Because we, as TVET, not expert, I won't say expert, I would say engaged in TVET field, in technical vocational education field, we need to find proper solutions, but we have our glasses to see the reality. And this is what I have taken from Mr. Schleicher, that the world of work is changed and our challenges are changed. We need to be continuously updated to keep on the proper working conditions. What does it mean in our case? That because we look for skills in advanced manufacturing sector. We don't have to forget which is our mission as a Skillman network. So we need to redesign the working environment, because the working environment is the place where we pass the majority of our time. But this working environment is not only a place, a room, can be also you can also nowadays work with remote connections. You are in your preferred beach and you stay in front of the sea and you are working. You are working in your working environment. So how you can change the situation in a way that your working environment become a really learning environment. So you have the most easy case, because when everything is digitalized and you are working and your working environment is just a screen or the virtual reality glasses and so on, probably is more simple to think about these changes. But when you are in a physical environment like we are here, how we can do it? So the idea is that every object, this is the Internet of Things concept that can be brought to the changing of the learning, the working environment, the redesigning of this ambient, is that every object can give us information. And this information must be put and must be in a circuit where they can be valorized for our learning path, continuous learning pathways on the work situation. So it's like to activate, no? To switch on, this is the meaning, to switch on the situation where we move from a classic working environment in a working environment where all elements can contribute to our own update, skilling update, and increasing of capacity. So just, yes, press the button and switch on. All the objects has to contribute. And we have an idea on this. Can I go to reveal this idea?
Please.
Yeah, okay.
Please.
Activate the button means to create skills rings. So we have an idea that is related to the way how putting together different opportunities that are given by the latest technologies, we can create a working environment where the workers are the leaders of this change, producing learning contents that can be shared, can be rated, can be reused. And the approach to this idea is that the learners can learn learning by teaching. So the best way, it is not mine, is a mention of other important persons. The best way to learn is to teach. So if you spend your efforts to teach someone something that you know, this is a very good exercise for you to learn how to do something, and this means that you are increasing your skills, because you make a process that bring to the light the knowledge that you have, the capacities that you have that are not immediately recognized by yourself. Then it will become the certification, the recognition, the credits. You will have your certificates that will say that you are able to do it. But before to arrive this, you have the process, and the process to reflect on what you are doing, how you are doing it, because you are explaining this to another person. This means the effective involvement of your own body in learning something in concrete to explain to the other. What is the trick, I would say? You get your phone, you record the video, and you explain what you have learned, and you share this with your colleagues in your working environment. So your colleagues can take advantage from this, but the process is when you record your video, you get this 20, 30 seconds, 50 seconds, you get the skills and you fix the skills in your own, in yourself. And then you circulate this information. Other colleagues can rate this. Other colleagues can promote it. And this information can be linked to the real world. Because when you arrive to my same position, in the same machinery, or with the same temperature, or with the same pressure, something can happen, and in your mobile can happen the video with information where I have discovered that at this temperature you have to move something to allow the machinery to work in the proper way. So this is the learning factory we have in mind and we discuss, where all the actors, all the workers are involved in a continuous learning ring. This is the skills rings concept of our learning factory that we promote.
I really like it. I love it, because I really have to say, years ago I was very provocative. I can remember in the teacher training when they said how we can optimize our teacher training, and I said to them, there is one thing sure, that the only person who is really for sure learning in this room is the teacher. So I know but it's on all levels, not only on the vocational education training level. And I think this is very important, that we are looking to this and that we have to adjust as well the methodology we are using for learning most effective. Many thanks.
Thank you very much. If I may add also one aspect that we also discuss in our network. As you probably know, we have many times discussed about the new professions that happen only online. And this was an aspect that is in connection with this, because here we are talking about learning environments that are linked to real objects. To these real objects, you can also be linked at distance. You can stay at your home and you can print 3D objects in the other part of the world. So all this is connected. But there are professions that only happen online, only happen at distance, in remote connection. So for these professions, and we have seen the impact of the lockdown, no? Because we have experimented with our own lives what is the effect of a pandemic, where you have to stay at home and to try to work, because you cannot stop your work. No? So in this regard, we have millions of people that are already ready for this, because not only the ones that have arranged a solution, but these millions of people, like we call them like the smart working, the smart workers. Okay, they are already working at distance. Of course, not all professions can be done in the same way, but these are already working this platform like we have. So these freelancers are on various platforms, but they are already like 50 or 60 millions, I think. These workers only work at distance. They can be connected with the real objects, and then they have different challenges than the on-site working. So for TVET, for vocational education and training, is, I think, very important to think also to this working environment that is different. So if you have to work at distance, why you have to go to learn your job in a physical environment? For this reason, we have started to talk about virtual mobility. So workers that will work in remote connection will have to experiment, the trainees, we have to experiment the conditions at distance, like the real workers. So this is the last part of my reflection. Working environment must be considered as a potential for learning environment. Changing this shape, we have also to reflect on the ones that will never put their foot in the working physical environment, and help them with blended or full virtual mobility experiences. That's something that is for our TVET providers.
I like that. And I'm very curious about the next steps for the future. What will be next in this lifelong learning scheme and possibility? I like that we are already now opening everything and experimenting and learning from the results which we can observe, and that Skillman is doing that ahead is very positive. So many thanks, Giovanni, to present this important field for the future, because we have to learn more than in the past. And yeah, I think with this we are able to do so. Many thanks.
Thank you very much.